let's see, because I really do want to get to this because um Jordynne Grace was taking some unnecessary heat. Now look, Jordynne Grace, obviously not a fan of mine. However, I still remain a fan of hers. And so I'm going to have her back when it's necessary. And I felt like this week it was necessary. So Jordynne Grace went on Twitter earlier this week and she said, bookmark this tweet. And as you can see, I have bookmarked it. I have definitely bookmarked it because I want to see this play out. Um, but she says, when Say His Name and he appears, hits next year, it's going to be a top 5 Rumble reactions in history. Okay. She said that. And then some people that I actually really like, King of the North and other folks, quote tweeted that, say, you don't hear her talking about TNA like this. If you ever, so it's very clear that they don't follow Jordynne Grace because she is tweeting nonstop about TNA. she literally, like, honestly, she's way too online and she admits it. But she is retweeting, quote tweeting, and just tweeting on her own anything TNA related all day, every day. She will also tweet when her friends in other companies are doing well. She will quote tweet them and talk about, like, even if they're AEW or WWE, she doesn't care. She tweets about everything. But the thing that she tweets the most about is TNA. Now, we all know that she's leaving, and that's fine. She has outgrown the company. They don't have the money to keep her, and good for her. She has made herself a valuable commodity, and now the largest company in the world wants her. And honestly, if she were interested in AEW, they would take her too. I think there could be if she wasn't already earmarked for WWE, I would say that a bidding war for 2025 is on its way. I would. And good for her. Good for her. That's exactly how the wrestling business should work. That's how sports is supposed to work. You get yourself, you work out your contract, right? And then hopefully by the end of that contract, you've become more valuable than what that contract is worth, and therefore you deserve a significant amount of money at the end of it, right? That's the thing. Same thing in baseball, football, basketball, everything, right? We just saw it play out in the NFL earlier this year, where guys were on their rookie deals, right? There's been several guys, CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Ayuk, and several others. By the end of that deal, or I think they both of those guys had a year left. So they get towards to where they're actually able to have a negotiation window, and they worked out a deal to re-sign with their same team for a significantly larger amount of money than what they were worth as a rookie, right? That's now Jordynne Grace is no rookie. She's been around forever, but she has outperformed her current contract. She's more famous in her current contract pays out. Not that she's poor, she's not. She had the opportunity to go elsewhere last time, but TNA won the bidding war, right? But now she is much bigger than that contract, and TNA is not going to be able to keep her because they don't have those kind of resources. They're not bringing in enough money to be able to pay out what she's going to want. And good for her. So now she's going to go elsewhere. But that's the business. That is how this stuff works. It's no harm, no foul. She will always be remembered fondly in this company. She's going to be a TNA Hall of Famer one day. I guarantee it. She is right up there with Gail Kim and Mickie James as one of the greatest TNA knockouts ever in the history of the company. She's great. She's done everything right by the company. She has been a team player. She's not ever been one of those people that have refused to lose to people. She's never one going and pissing and moaning about being on the pre-show or not being on a pay-per-view and this and that. I remember there was one time, I can't remember the show, so somebody could probably correct me, but there was one pay-per-view where I just don't think that she was on it. And some people online were complaining. And I might have been one of those people because I'm a big admirer of hers. And she corrected them. She goes, guys, this is a team. I was on the last pay-per-view. And now it's someone else's time to step up. And then I'll be on the next one. And sure enough, she was. Because I don't think everybody sees these shows as like a team event, right? They're all a team working together for a common goal. And Jordynne Grace, since the day she stepped in the company, I think like 5 or 6 years ago, has been a complete team player. And now she's about to go get paid. And so for everybody to get upset at her for tweeting that Joe Hendry is going to get a Rumble reaction, you guys are wrong. And it's honestly a bit weird. Okay. And the only reason why you guys are saying that is because you're caught up in this AEW WWE pissing contest that you feel like is personal to you. Because any compliment of WWE you feel is a shot at AEW, so you need to go and take that person down. And that is unhealthy behavior. It is very unhealthy. And I had King defending his tweet to me, but I just don't agree with it. I just don't. It's like nobody's out to get, like, Jordynne Grace, for one, is not out to get AEW. She's not. In fact, she wants AEW to be healthy and thriving because that means more money for her. Because I don't know that her and WWE have agreed on a contract. I don't know. I know that her and TNA have agreed on a contract, not necessarily a buyout, but she's being let out of her deal in January. And that's so that way she can go get paid. Again, good for her and good on TNA for allowing it to happen. Reminds me very much of the situation with Will Ospreay and Kazuchika Okada. Both of them were allowed to negotiate deals before the end of their contracts expired because New Japan realized that those guys had gotten more famous than what they were able to pay them. They become more valuable than what they were able to pay. And so they allowed them to go and negotiate months early before their contract expired. They both negotiated with WWE and AEW. That was them being a solid company and keeping talent happy that they're probably going to want back one day when they're a bit older and not as valuable. But which happens, right? You're gonna lose them in their 30s and then hope that when they're in their 40s they're gonna come back. And Jordynne Grace I don't even think Jordynne Grace is 30 years old yet because she's been working since she's like 16. She came into TNA when she's very young. If you go back and look at like 2019 Jordynne Grace, 2018, I think she came in 2018, 2019 timeframe. She looks like a baby. Like her cheeks still got like baby fat in them. Because she was like legit like a child, right? I think she might have been 21 years old or something like that when she came into the company. So she's worked her ass off. Okay, Lucha Doncic, thank you, sir. He is correcting me. She is 28 years old. So I think she came into the company when she was 22. Right? So it's I think it's a bit weird to go after Jordynne on this one specifically. And the only reason why people care, the only reason why people are upset is because Jordynne dare talk about WWE and you guys are all getting your panties in a wad because of your hatred of WWE. Look, I ain't no big WWE fan either. Right? And I will come after them for certain things. But I'm not going to come after talent for wanting to get paid and maximize their income. We need both companies to thrive, AEW and WWE, and we need TNA to thrive. They're all very important parts of the ecosystem, right? WWE, I want them to get some of the creeps out of there. And so that's all going to come to a head. That's all going to come to fruition in due time. Okay. But I still want the talent to be able to get paid. And so I'm happy for Jordynne Grace. And I think every TNA fan out there, if you got a spine and a backbone and you're a mature adult, when she does leave, you take the stance that she did everything she could in the company. She was a loyal soldier. She was a team player. She busted her ass. She changed her body around. She turned herself into a valuable commodity. and now she's going to go get paid, and she's always going to be looked at fondly by the company, and she's always going to be a TNA original, right? Even though she started in the Impact Wrestling era, no one says Impact Wrestling anymore. It's already like that nomenclature has died. It's TNA, and very much like AJ Styles, she's always going to be looked at as a TNA talent. Even when she goes over there and she becomes more famous in WWE than she ever was in TNA, and she probably will be there for 10 years. She'll get to the point where her contract or her time in WWE will have outlasted her time in TNA. She will always be kind of looked at as like one of ours, like AJ, and hope that if the relationship between the two companies stays strong, that, every once in a while we get to see her again. That's the mentality that you got to take.